Hey, this is Steve Keys here with Keller Williams Capital District here with another episode of Hey, How's the Market? This week we are taking a look at Schenectady County. This is the monthly review for the month of February. All right, so I was on vacation for 2 weeks and I had terrible internet connection, so I wasn't able to pull any of these reports. The 2 weeks that I missed, I am going to do a video for. I'm not going to post them on Instagram. I don't know if I've said this before, but all of the videos that I post are always on my YouTube channel. So I've got lots of other videos that I do on different platforms. Everything can be found in one spot on YouTube. So if you just go to my YouTube channel, you can find the playlist of Hey, How's the Market? And you'll find all of the videos that I've done for this. And the two that I skipped will be on there. It'll be Saratoga County for the first week and then Warren County for the second week. And I haven't done those yet, but I will post them as soon as they are available within the next few days. All right, so taking a look at the numbers. So for active inventory, we have Schenectady School District coming in at first place with 87 properties on the market. Niskayuna School District coming in second place with 36 properties on the market. Total active inventory for the county was 205 properties available this month. For new pending properties this month, we had Schenectady School District with 35 properties under contract this month. Niskayuna School District with 20 properties under contract this month. Total new properties under contract this month was 102. For new sold properties this month, we had Schenectady School District with 19 properties closed. Mahonison School District, 17 properties closed. Total closed properties for this month was 65 properties. For sold to list price ratio, the only one over 100% this month was Scotia Glenville with almost 102%. Schenectady School District took second place at 97% sold to list price ratio. Total list price ratio for the county was 96.26%, so basically almost the same as Schenectady. For price points, 200 to 250 took first place with 22 properties under contract. 250,000 to 300,000 took second place with 21 properties under contract. 200 to 250 had the better chance of selling at almost 58% chance, and 250 to 300 took second place at just over 55% chance of selling. Every single time. For school districts, Scotia Glenville had the best chance of selling with just under 74% chance of selling. Mahonison School District took second best chance of selling at just over 62% chance of selling, and total percent chance for all of the county was just under 50%. So a little thing to point out here, a lot of these numbers, when we look at the charts, you're going to see a lot of numbers were still down in a lot of categories. Active inventory has not recovered. That's still down. It's one of the lowest that we've seen since we've been tracking the data. Pending numbers isn't the lowest that we've been, but it's still pretty low. Sold numbers are down. The sold to list price ratio, this is the worst that we've had the entire time I've been tracking it. A lot of these numbers are down. And still, 1 out of 2 properties in Schenectady County sold in the month of February. So that is still, I mean, the numbers can say what they want, but still, you stood a 50% chance of selling your home if you had a home in Schenectady County. So I would say that's still a pretty strong market. So, that winter market didn't seem to last all that long. When we're looking at, for the month of February, you stood a 50% chance of selling your home if you had it on the market. So, just a little food for thought, I guess. All right, looking at the charts. Hey, this chart is bigger than my thing. I'm gonna have to fix that. All right, so active inventory. Well, no, not active inventory. So this is the end of month and beginning of month inventory. So we can see that inventory is still dropping. Hasn't really shown any sign of a bounce back at all whatsoever. End of month inventory is still lower than our beginning of month inventory. So we are if we look from month to month, it does look like we're pretty close to replenishing, at least getting sort of back to where we were when we started. So we're at least maintaining some kind of balance. All right, so activity for the month. So you can see that our total active inventory over the month, like, we're down. This is the lowest that it's been. We've had pretty close, but this is the lowest that it's been. It looked like it was bouncing up a little bit. It looks like the battery in my light's going to die. Looks like we bounced up a little bit, but then we came back down. So activity for pending activity. So here's our pending activity. We're actually up from our lowest spot here. We're up even back when we were. We're only down a little bit from where we were, but I mean, when we compare to where the summer was in early times like that, it's still low. But it is starting to come back up. Our linear trajectory is still heading in a downward direction. And sold numbers, those are still down. But as we've said before, those are lagging a little bit back behind. So these properties here are what's closing now. So that's why sold is not showing any kind of bounce back whatsoever. Average days on market for the county. So the average days on market for active properties is still dropping, which tells us that the old sale properties are either expiring or selling, and we're getting new properties that are coming on, which is pulling that average days on market down. The pending days on market was going up a little bit, which is those stale properties selling off. It has dropped back down a little bit, probably as the newer inventories coming on the market. People are having better choices. So they don't have to pick that stale property that's been on the market for 200 days. Something nice just came on the market. They can take one of those. And our sold days on market is still climbing up, as we've said. That's lagging a little behind. So average price, Schenectady is very stable. It's one of the most stable counties that we look at. In its stability, we could see our pending numbers are trickling up. So we can see down here was kind of our low point. Up here, we're at a high point. This is a $50,000 line. So we're up from our low point, probably about $40,000. Which isn't crazy. It's not a big deal. But it is showing that it is heading in a little bit of an upward direction. We're actually at almost our highest point. We don't have another point that is pretty much higher than this. And our sold price has not quite caught up to that yet. So that's still heading on that downward trend that it was earlier, that the pending line was earlier in the year. List price to sold price ratio, like I said, it's the lowest it has ever been. So this is down. Although, I mean, keep in mind, here's 100% right here. So it's only been these last 4 months, maybe 5 months. I feel like I'm missing a month in there. Feels like there should be a dot in there. Maybe it's just because of the angle. It's throwing my eyes off. But here's 100. So most of the time we have been above or at it. It's only the winter month that's been bringing the ratio down. But we'll see as things start to warm up if that picks back up or not. And then expired and canceled. Here we were. So we're I don't know, probably about midline. Half of them are below half. It's probably on the higher end of it, but not really by much. All right. So that has been this week's episode. Thank you for joining me. And please tune in again next week as we answer the question, hey, how's the market? Bye-bye for now.